Hello, teacher. This is the final task for Introduction to Linguistics course. I am Ana Borbolla, and today I am going to talk to you about what we saw during the 5th unit. The theme of this unit was semantics, the meaning of language. To begin with, let's define what semantics is. Semantics is a linguistic study of meaning in language. Within this, we have seen some other related concepts like word, phrase, and sentence. We also saw the meanings of denotation and connotation, what semantic field is, and the lexical relations, like synonyms, antonyms, homophones, and homonyms. But we will talk about that later. First of all, let's see what word, phrase, and sentence are. Word is defined as the smallest unit of expression, which has a literal meaning, who native speakers are able to recognize in both spoken and written language. Phrase in linguistics is defined as a group of words or possibly a single word that functions as a constituent in the syntax of a sentence. A phrase typically appears within a clause, but it is also possible for a phrase to be a clause or to contain a clause within it. And last but not least, we define sentence as a textual unit consisting of one or more words that are grammatically linked. Now, let's talk about denotation and connotation, how they are linked, and what are the differences between them. Denotation in semantics is defined as the explicit, direct, or literal meaning or set of meanings of a word or an expression. Connotation, on the other hand, is defined as the associated or secondary meaning of a word or expression, in addition to its explicit or literal meaning. So, in other words, denotation is the dictionary meaning of a word, and connotation is the meaning that people can give to that same word, the figurative or associated meaning of it. For example, white doves. The literal meaning of a white dove is a small bird, but the connotation we usually give them is a bird that represents peace. A typical situation where we can see how denotation and connotation are applied in our daily lives is when we hear somebody saying, "I know what you said, but what did you mean?" Now, to continue, let's talk about semantic fields. Semantic fields can be described as a group of words that are linked together semantically. In other words, by their meaning that refers to a specific subject. For example, we know that chair, table, and bed do not mean the same, but they are related in the same semantic meaning. They all belong to the classification of furniture. Another example, but now with animals, we can group words like cat, dog, tiger, elephant. They all belong to the same semantic field. Also, semantic fields may have other semantic fields within the main one. In the past example with animals, we can form another semantic field about domestic animals with cat and dog. With the first example, we can say that chair and table belong to the semantic field of kitchen furniture. Now that we got that covered, we have to know that there are some other ways to group words together. For example, synonyms. Synonyms are words or phrases that mean exactly or nearly the same as another word or phrase in the same language. For example, happy to cheerful or angry to mad. Antonyms. Antonyms are words that have the opposite meaning to other words, like light to dark or compliment to insult. Homophones are words pronounced the same as other, but they differ in their meaning. Homophones may differ in spelling as well. For example, be like the insect, or be like the verb, or ate like the past tense of eat, and ate like the number. To close this theme with, let's talk about homonyms. Homonyms are words that sound alike, but they have different meanings. The term homonym, in addition, can be used to talk about two or more items that share the same name, like bat, the animal, and bat, the thing people use to play baseball. Rose, like the flower, and rose, like the past tense of rice. In the last example, words that are written the same way are called homographs. Now, let's talk about polysemy. This concept refers to words that have more than just one meaning. We can now confuse homonymy and polysemy, but to know which word is what, it might be necessary to look at the history of the word to see if the two meanings are historically related. Polysems are under the same entry and the meanings of homonyms are defined separately. Hyponymy now refers to a word whose meaning is included in the meaning of another word. For example, horse is a hyponym of animal. As you can see, it is related a lot with semantic fields. To understand hyponyms better, let's describe it in a visual way. The word website will be the top of what we will call the hyponym tree. From here, we are going to divide it in two. Let's say that we put social websites and broadcast websites. Now, we will divide these two into two more. Let's put Facebook and Twitter in the social category and YouTube and Twitch in the broadcast category. As we can see, websites can be categorized in many different aspects. Hyponyms are these, words related because of their meaning. So this is all what semantics refers to. As you may tell, it is important that we as future teachers need to completely understand this topic so we can make a good use of it in our classes and with our students. Semantics is a topic we face since we are little, and the comprehension of that leads us to understand how language works and how it is used in our surrounding environment. For example, about the connotation topic, we must be aware that people understand words different than us, just because we don't have the same background. In conclusion, the proper understanding of semantics leads us as students and future teachers to be proficient in all of the academic disciplines in language. This will allow us as a society to communicate the message we want to transmit without feeling fear of misinterpretation. In my personal opinion, like a current student and a future teacher, is that semantics is one of the most important topics to be explained while you are giving classes. Because if you get your students to misunderstand the concepts of the different topics in semantics, it will make them feel uncomfortable in society. And it can be worst when facing a society they are not used to, like the society of a brand new language. So I think that it is very important for us to fully understand what semantic is, how it is developed, what is it for,